KONDOSAN.
The 7 little goats walked to school happily every morning. They held hands as they walked to school.
School trip! School trip!
Whoever gets home first tells our mother the news.
They all ran home as fast as they could, and when they finally arrived, their hearts were pounding loud.
Mom! Mom!
What's going on?
There's a school trip to Paris.
That's great. You should do some research about Paris at once.
The next day, they printed out the information and read it.
Whoa! The world's largest museum is in Paris, and it's called Louvre. It's as big as 10 soccer fields. If we looked at every piece of artwork for a minute, it would take us 73 days to see everything. But there's one masterpiece we must see. Mona Lisa.
The time for their Paris trip had finally arrived. The little goats went to bed early that night, but they couldn't sleep. They tossed and turned in their beds. They went to the airport. They were so excited to get on the plane for the first time. The flight was uneventful. The students chatted. Just then, one of the little goats couldn't help noticing a familiar face sitting in the back row, trying to disguise himself. When she looked closely, she realized it was Bad Wolf. He was wearing a fake mustache and glasses, but his long ears and sharp teeth gave him away.
Oh no! They probably recognized me. What are these little ghosts doing here anyway? I have to hide now.
The Bad Wolf crawled out of his seat and to the lavatory. He didn't come out until the plane landed. As soon as they arrived in Paris, they went to their hotel. The Bad Wolf stalked them as he smiled maliciously.
So we meet again. Have fun while you can, you miserable little ghost. He who laughs last, laughs best.
The first stop of the trip was the Eiffel Tower. They stood under the tower with mouths agape because of the tower's height. The scenery from atop was beautiful, and everything looked so tiny. After they ate some food, they went straight to the Louvre Museum. At the end of such a delightful museum visit, they stopped in front of the most valuable piece in the museum, the Mona Lisa painting. The Bad Wolf used the crowd to his advantage to get even closer to the little goats.
Wow.
One of the little goats was telling her friend about Mona Lisa.
You miserable little goats. Now you're done.
The little goat scampered away, screaming, and the scene was chaotic. Mayhem broke out, as other visitors in the museum also joined in, not knowing what was going on. But the Bad Wolf stayed put. His true intentions were different. Taking advantage of the stampede, he stole the Mona Lisa painting and tried to run for the exit. He wanted to sell the painting so he could become rich.
Brothers, sisters, follow my voice so you can find me. His plan was to use us to create diversion and steal that valuable painting. What does the wolf hate the most? Then let's give him a bath. You've got your slingshot with you? How about your marbles? Listen to me closely then.
After they finished scheming their plan, 2 little goats ran after the wolf. The goat that had the slingshot shot a marble at the fire sprinklers in the hallway where the wolf was running. The sprinklers went off as soon as the marble hit. The wolf was caught by surprise.
What's going on? Where did all this water come from? I hate getting wet.
The other marble coming from the slingshots triggered another sprinkler. The floor was flooded. The bad wolf slipped and fell to the ground, along with the painting. When they returned to their town, their mother and townspeople were so proud of them. They carried the little goats on their shoulders to the school. And what about the bad wolf? At first, he stayed in the hospital for a long time. He was charged with grand theft. So, as punishment, he had to mop the museum floors for a whole year. He regretted what he'd done, but it was too late.
Kondo-san? Kondo-san?
Once upon a time, there lived a mother goat and her 7 kids. They lived in a house in the forest. Mother goat loved her kids and would protect them at any cost. She would try to teach them lessons about her life experiences. And they were so cute. 4 of them were girls and 3 of them were boys. One day, Mother Goat wanted to go to the market to sell the butter that she had made. But she had to leave her kids at home by themselves.
My dear ones, I'm going to the market. Don't you dare open the door to strangers. Please be careful.
Okay, Mom.
Okay, Mom.
When you come, show us your feet. If we believe that they are your feet, we'll open the door.
Mother Goat set off right after kissing all her kids goodbye. Meanwhile, there was a treacherous wolf wandering in the forest, searching for some easy prey. The wolf was hiding behind a tree, patiently waiting for the little goat's mother to leave the house. As soon as she left, he knocked on their door. He wanted to make use of this opportunity.
Who is it?
My dear kids, it's me, your mother. I've brought you some wonderful and delicious fruit. Open the door for me.
Hey, wait. I know this voice. This is the voice of the wolf. Remember what Mom said?
The wolf has a deep voice. Oh, my dears, please be careful and don't make a mistake, or the wolf will eat you all.
As the wolf couldn't get past the door, he knocked on the door to try his chance again. This time, he really thinned his voice to make it sound like their mother's.
My dear goats, I'm stuck outside. Come on, open the door for me. I'm so tired. I've brought you a lot of food. Why are you making your mother wait outside?
This sounds like my mother, but we need to be sure. Mother, please stretch your legs out from under the door. Remember what we discussed? Show us your feet. So the wolf stretched out his feet. Of course, after seeing the dark feet, the goats realized that this was the wolf. Get lost!
Get lost!
You're not our mother.
Her feet are white.
White as snow.
We won't open the door. We won't open the door.
We won't open.
The wolf got furious. He went to the bakery and bought a sack of flour. He came back to the kid's door and covered his feet in flour, making them completely white.
This should work now. I'm going to catch the goats. You little goats. You can't escape from me.
But the wolf had forgotten one thing. The little goats were very clever. Terrified of the wolf constantly hovering outside their door, they came up with a plan.
My sisters and brothers, I have a feeling. I think that this wolf isn't going to give up easily, and he's going to try to trick us. If this treacherous wolf comes to our door again, even if we see white feet, we'll peek from under the door. If it's indeed our mother, we'll recognize her smell from even behind the door.
The goats gathered round and whispered the plan to one another. They all had a different task. With joy, the wolf knocked on the door again with his feet snow-white covered in flour. This time he was so sure that he'd be able to trick the goats.
Kids! Come on! I'm your mother! Look what I bought you! If you open the door, I have a gift for all of you. Here are my snow-white feet. Look from under the door. Did you see? Did you see my snow-white feet?
When the goats carefully looked at the feet, they realized that they were way too big to be their mothers.
Yes, they're white, but they are huge. Kids, this is the wolf again, not our mother. Come on, let's carry out our plan.
Okay, Mother.
I'm opening the door right away.
As they planned, everyone hid in a different place. One of them hid under the blanket, one under the bed, one inside the closet, one inside the oven, and another behind the curtains. And one of them went onto the roof. Her task was up there. Their plan was coming together perfectly. Finally, the little goat who knew that the time had come slowly pulled on the string that he attached to the door from inside the old big clock in the living room where he was hiding, and the door opened.
The door's open, Mummy. You can come in now.
The wolf that entered the house was shocked to find it empty.
Huh?
He couldn't see a single goat anywhere. Suddenly, he noticed something moving under the blanket. The wolf walked there slowly, holding his hands out. He lifted the blanket.
I've got you, little one. Did you think you could trick me? No one can escape from me.
The big sister was the one under the blanket. In her hand was a bottle of spicy red pepper. Suddenly, she threw all of it at the wolf's face. And the goat under the bed poured the bottle of oil on the wolf's feet. There was oil everywhere. The wolf's face, mouth, nose, and eyes were burning, so he couldn't stand on the slippery floor and fell flat on the ground. Covered all in oil, the wolf rolled over and over towards the door, trying to escape.
Help! Help! I'm burning! I'm burning! Isn't there anyone to help me? My eyes are burning! I can't see anything!
The kid, hiding in the big old clock, poked his head out and with a hoarse voice,
Catch this treacherous wolf and punish him. He should know what it means to try to trick us.
Upon hearing this, all the others started throwing the tomatoes they had stored in the living room from the freezer, and also the marbles they played with to the wolf that couldn't run on the slippery ground. The goat on top of the roof threw a bucket of cold water over the wolf's head that was hardly able to come out the door. The wolf ran for his life as fast as he could.
I'll never come to this house again. I got burned from the peppers they threw at me. I froze from the cold water, and I'm covered in tomatoes. I'm a frozen tomato. If I had thought for 40 years, I would have never thought that these little goats could trick me. Either I've gotten very old, or these goats are really very clever.
Towards evening, Mother Goat returned from the market. She had bought her little goats a lot of fruit and vegetables so that they could be healthy. Each one of them was fond of a different fruit. The mother did not forget any of them and chose them carefully. When she arrived in front of the door, she noticed the entrance was completely wet. She looked up and there was not a cloud in the sky, and it wasn't raining. She knocked on the door and called out to the little goats.
My little goats, I'm here. Open the door for me. I'm very tired and my hands are full of bags. I also have a surprise for you.
Show us your
Show
feet.
us your feet.
Show us your feet.
Mother Goat stretched her feet under the door. The goats realized that these were their mother's feet right away. Her voice was also their mother's. They opened the door without hesitation. Mother Goat screamed with shock when she entered the house. It was a big mess. Peppers and tomatoes were on the floor, and furniture was scattered all around. Mother Goat was terrified.
My God, what happened to this house? What is this? There are tomatoes and peppers everywhere. Are you okay?
The little goats told their mother what had happened to them one by one. The mother was very sad, but was also very proud of her children. Once again, she realized how clever they were. Later, they all cleaned their house together. They ate their dinner.
My smart little ones, I love you all so much. You did well today. You acted together and you defeated the bad wolf. I'm proud of you. It makes me so happy to be the mother of such clever goats.
She hugged and kissed them one by one. The next day, they all went to the police to complain about the wolf.
Oh.
They told the forest police everything that had happened. The forest police congratulated the little goats for their bravery and cleverness. He even told them that if they wanted, they could become forest police when they grew up. The goats were very happy to hear this. The wolf was caught and sent far away. He was punished to never come back. The 7 little goats lived happily ever after, protecting one another, just like their mother had taught them.
KONDOSAN